Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel channel for foodies. I'm Brent Peterson. I'm an American living in Portugal. We've been here for 3.5 years, and today we are in Lisbon in a little Brazilian restaurant in the Alameda neighborhood. And I got a little empanada with heart of palm. Looks delicious. Let me try a little bite first before I tell you about today's video. Nice crust, heart of palm, a little vinegar, yum. So I made a video a couple months ago about how we decided on where we would live in Portugal, and we decided on Setúbal, and that video is available for you to watch. But I thought I'd make a video on how we decided on Portugal itself, the country, when we decided to move from the US. So that's what this video is going to be about. What are the criteria? We knew we wanted to move to Europe. We considered Central and South America. We'd been to Mexico and Belize and Costa Rica, and we were thinking maybe Ecuador, somewhere like that. But really, we always wanted to move to Europe. So we decided we're going to move to Europe. Then we had to decide where we were going to move in Europe. So we came up with this list of criteria of where we wanted to move in Europe, and here's what they are. Our first criteria. So our first criteria is weather. And you can see my salad has arrived. It looks delicious. I'll try that in a moment. So we wanted nice weather. And by nice weather, I mean sunny, warm with mild winters. That's for us. Now, all these things, these criteria are just my opinion, our opinion, me and Karen. You might have different opinions. You might like cold winters. You might like to go skiing. So maybe a place like Austria is more your speed. Or maybe like really cold winters and you want to move to Norway. For us, we wanted mild winters. We've lived all over the United States. We've lived in New England, I've lived in Chicago, and we've lived in Hawaii and Austin, Texas. And we knew that mild winters and warm summers were our preference. So even though we love Ireland, that had to go. Too rainy, too wet, too cold. Places like Belgium and Germany that we also really liked, they had to go as well. In fact, pretty much all of Northern Europe and Eastern Europe, they had to go. So our next criteria was, we knew that we were in for a huge culture shock moving to Europe. We'd been to Europe many times before, but we'd obviously never lived there. Most we ever did in Europe was, I think, a month or something. So we wanted to try and minimize our culture shock as much as possible. And I thought one of the best ways to do that would be a place that had a general level of English proficiency to kind of ease us into the language, but also a place that we at least had some familiarity with, a place that we had been to before. So because of that, places like Turkey and Greece, places that I'd really like to visit, but we haven't been to. We haven't been to either one of those. So Turkey and Greece, even though they got nice weather, they had to be removed from the list. The next criteria is no islands. Let me explain what I mean by this strange criteria. We lived a little while in Hawaii, and of course it's tropical paradise, it's beautiful, there's tons of things to do, but there's this thing called island fever in Hawaii, and that just means it's difficult to get anywhere. So you, at some point, even though you're in a great place, you're in this tropical paradise, you feel a little bit constricted. And so we didn't want to live in a place that was islands. So places like the Azores in Portugal or Malta, we love Malta. In fact, we just got back from Malta, and I posted a couple of videos of that trip, and I got a couple more videos of Malta that are coming up. It's a fantastic place, and you should definitely go. But living there would feel a little bit isolated. We really wanted to be in a place where we wouldn't have to fly to get everywhere. We wanted to be able to take trips by train, by bus, by car, and not have to be so heavily reliant on flying. So Malta, great to visit, but can't live there, sorry. So we took a little walk after lunch and can't walk too far without grabbing a coffee, so we came to this hip little cafe called Pentagon, and you know it's hip when they have dog treats right on the table. Got a little macchiato. I'm going to drink it without comment. Oh man, work on your coffee, dude. So the next criteria is safety, and you know, wherever you live, you want to live in a safe environment. So I looked at something called the World Peace Index, and World Peace Index ranks all 163 countries on various criteria, especially crime, also terrorism, war, and how well the country gets along with its neighbors. And then it uses this criteria, gives them a score, and ranks them. Give you an idea, United States is like 130 something out of 163 countries. So really, really low on this list. Portugal, on the other hand, ranks in the top 10. Most of Europe is in the upper reaches of this. But there is one outlier, and that's France. Surprisingly, France ranks pretty low on the World Peace Index. And you know, we've been to France many times and never really had any issues with crime or anything there, but the fact of the matter is that crime has been going up in France, and now France ranks really low on the World Peace Index. So, you know, it's something that we had to consider. We'll still enjoy visiting France, but for now, it was a place where we decided that we didn't want to live. So if you like this kind of content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Normally I do food and travel, but also I like to sprinkle in some what I call life in Portugal videos, you know, what our everyday life is like and what our decision-making process was. So give us a like if you like this kind of stuff. We do these videos every once in a while. The last criteria is citizenship. So when we came to Europe, I knew that I wanted to get citizenship in my new country. And, you know, every country has their own process for doing this. And of the countries that were left for us, Spain, Italy, and Portugal, Portugal by far had the easier path to citizenship. Both Italy and Spain require a minimum of 10 years, in most cases, for most kinds of citizenship, for most kinds of passports. Require a 10-year process, and in many cases it takes quite a bit longer than that. Portugal, on the other hand, has a 5-year process. So for me, you know, we've been here 3.5 years. Sometime next year I'll get to apply for citizenship and hopefully get a Portuguese passport. So that was, you know, residency is fine. You can continue to renew your residency, but as long as you're just a resident, there's still some question as to what your status is. You know, things could be changed on you and the rug could be pulled out from underneath you. It's a lot better if you have full citizenship, and that's kind of the goal here. So after all of those criteria, what we came up with was Portugal. And now after 3.5 years, we are very, very happy with our choice. So, like I said, give us a like, give us the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. You know, I write a bunch of foodie travel guides to cities all over Portugal, a bunch in Spain, Italy as well, and you know, you can read these at buymeacoffee.com/destination-eat-drink. The best deal is getting the download of the Portugal one for only $9.99. I did a compilation of all 17 of my foodie travel guides in Portugal. It's over 600 pages. It's a big, big thing, but you know, to cover all the food places, all the drink places, and all the fun things to do, it took a lot of time and a lot of pages. So you can get that, scan the code, and check that out. So hope you enjoyed this. I'm Brent Peterson. I've got, I mentioned Malta. I've got a bunch more Malta videos to come. Enjoy those, and I'll see you down the road.